Hello traders, my name is Bradley Montaung, and then in today's video we are looking at Boom 500 and Crash 500, guys. So let's start off with Boom 500, and as you all know, we start from the highest time frame, of which it's the 4 hour in this case here. And if you look at this market structure here, you can obviously see that the market was pushing down. So we had this low here, lower high, and then this is your lower low within this point here. Let me just remove this thing here. This is your lower low, lower high, lower low. Then the market gave us a higher high, higher low. Then we had a higher high, of which this was just a mitigation around this point. Then the market started selling off. So it means that this was internal around here. This was a break of structure to the downside, as you can see right there, break of structure. Then we had another break of structure, which it's this one here. Then after having this break of structure, like I told you, we had a change of character within this point, but like the change of character was false. Like I told you guys, sometimes you'll get false signals in the markets, and then you just have to take the loss with a grain of salt, knowing that you're gonna take another entry to just rectify the one that you took as a loss. So we had our change of character, break of structure, then the market came to mitigate this area of supply within this point. Let me just put it correctly so that you can see it. So as you can see here, this was the mitigation that I'm talking about. And then you can also see that we also had some type of a fair value gap within this point. So I like to change colors for the fair value gap, as you can see right there. So we can just write out OB, as you know, the order block around here. Then we had the fair value gap, of which it's the FVG. So we have all these setups, and the market pushed down, which means that we had a change of character again around this point here. So this was the change of character that we had, but like it's around this point just because this was the previous low, to be honest, guys. So this was the change of character that we had around here. So let me just do this. So this is a church around here. Then we broke another structure point, of which it was this one here. So we also had like two areas that were broken. That is when the market pushed to the downside. So this was our high. This is, let me just check. So we have two candles, so which means that this is your lowest point and then this is your highest point, knowing that this is your trading range. So this low, this high here to this low here, that was your trading range previously. Using your fib tool from the high to the low, then you can get to understand that we had an area of value around this point here. This is an obvious area of value, as you can see here. This was an indecision candle, then the market pushed to the downside, and this was your inducement around here. So we can just say IDM. IDM stands for inducement, guys, and then inducement is just a liquidity area whereby the market traps you into selling around this point, just because we had a change of character, we had a break of structure. So you were expecting maybe to buy around this point, of which you get induced to buy, like the word states, guys. You get induced to buy, to sell early, then that is when you sell, and then the market takes you out. That is liquidity. Then it sells off very nicely and you take a loss just like that. So around here we had a break of structure again. So this is the BOS on this area here, and after having a BOS, guys, we already know that this is our high, this is our low, that is your trading range. And then as you can see here, we had a change of character within here. So this is our church currently, and as you can see here, the market is still pushing to the downside, creating lower lows and lower highs. So this is internal structure, as you can see here, just because we had a liquidity sweep around here. This is the 4 hour, guys. Do not forget that we are looking at the 4 hour, still on the 4 hour. So this low to this high here, so you need a 3 candles, guys. So this is the 3 candles that we have, so which means we are looking at this high here and this low here for us to take an entry. So we're going to use our fib tool from the low to the high, just like that. You can obviously see that we tapped into the 50% zone, and we also have this area of imbalance around here that was already filled, and we have this area of demand around this point. That is where the market has already tapped at the moment. And on the lower time frame, I think we can start looking for a change of character entry, and that is when we can look for those buying opportunities on this nice instrument here. So we can just switch to the 15-minute time frame so that you can understand the structure on the 15-minute. So as you can see here, we are on the 15-minute. So we have this as our low, lower high. So let's check here. We didn't have the 3 candle pullback, as you can see here. We didn't have a 3 candle pullback around here, so we had one around here. So this is your lower low, lower high. So around here the market is still pushing to the downside, so we're just gonna wait up until we get a nicer structure. And what I'm seeing on the 15-minute, we also have liquidity around this point. So this liquidity here has to be taken out, obviously, so we can switch back to the 1 hour time frame. Is because we just get to refine like on the 1 hour. So as you can see here, let me just zoom out and check for an area that was not mitigated. So around this point we still have this area here that we can use as our demand zone. This is a nice demand zone that we can use. And zooming out again, we can also use this one here. As you can see, it was not mitigated, and then we still have something of something like this low here. This can act as like some type of liquidity or an inducement around this point here. So we're just gonna wait and see if the market will give us like some type of a reaction within this point after taking out this liquidity here. So let's say maybe we tap into this area here, tap into it, then we get that market structure shift. Then that is when we can start looking for buying opportunities on Boom 500. So looking at Crash 500, let me just look at the higher time frames, that the 4 hour. So the 4 hour is a bit simple. As you can see here, the market was just pushing down, guys. So we had this low, lower high, lower low. We have the 3 candle pullback, as you can see right there. So which means this is your break of structure, just like that. Then after having a break of structure, obviously you just need to use your Fibonacci tool. And the reason why I'm doing this on all my setups is for you to understand how to map out like your structures and all of those things. So we had this area of demand here, of which it's your OB. Then after having that area of demand, you can obviously see that at the top of the structure we also had this fair value gap here, this gap around this point. It was supposed to be filled at some point. So maybe if we get like a change of character, like around here we got a change of character, I think the market wants to fill out like this imbalance here. But like, let's continue analyzing so that you can see what's gonna happen. So we have a new breakout structure within here, the 3 candle pullback. As you can see here, we only had 1, 2 here, and then we pull down, then we have your 1, 2, and it's more than 3, as you can obviously see right there. So this is your lowest point, this is your highest point. Now you use your Fib tool from the high to the low. Then obviously this is at the 50% area, of which this is a nice demand zone, as you can see right there. And then there was no area of imbalance around this point. It seems like we had another imbalance around here. So this is also an imbalanced price action, as you can see right there. So we're just gonna wait and see if the market was trying to feel like all those 2 imbalances and continue pushing to the downside or continue pushing up. So around here we also had another break of structure. So now we need to determine our low here. So as you can see here, we had 2 candles, then the market started correcting, and then around here we had your 1, 2, 3. So this is your low here, and then from this high here to this low, that was your trading range, as you can see around here and up to this point here. And as you can clearly see, then the market broke this low here, this previous low. It means that we had a new structure forming up. So 1, 2, 3, so that was your new low point, then this was your new high. So after that we had a change of character, guys. So let me just write out the BOS around here, BOS, then the change of character came up. So now we need to determine our pullback, guys. Very important to determine your pullback so that you don't get caught in the wrong side, guys. As you can see here, we didn't have the 3 candles, and around here we had the 3 candles. We had 1, 2, then the market started correcting here, then we had 3. So which means that this is your high and this is your lowest point. So that was a trading range of which the market took out this previous high here, and before taking it out there was an entry. As you can see here, the market went deep into the 50% zone, of which it tapped into this area of demand here. Around here we have an OB. Using that OB, you can obviously see that the market started pushing to the upside. So removing this, we have a BOS currently. So after having that BOS, we already know that this is our low. So now we're just waiting to determine our high so that we can take our Fib tool from the low to the high. Then that is when we can start looking for an entry within this point here. So let's switch to the 15-minute time frame. So on the 15-minute time frame, as you can obviously see, this was our high right there. So we're going to use that one as our high. And looking at the structure, you can obviously see that we can use this area of demand, or we can just remove this thing here just because I'm seeing that we also have some type of liquidity here. So this liquidity here can be something that motivates us to look for buying opportunities like at the bottom of the structure. So let's say around here, we look for buying opportunities around here. And as you all know, guys, we just need to wait for the market to move with that internal order flow up until it taps into this area of value. Then we get a change of character or a market structure shift. Then that is when we buy. And then even if it doesn't happen around here, you just have to wait. You wait up until it happens. If it doesn't happen, then it's just gonna push to the downside just like that. Then that is when maybe you get it around this point here, that market structure shift that we always talk about. Then that is when you look for buying opportunities, knowing that the market has liquidity here, and then you also take out this previous low here, which means there is a lot of liquidity here, and then it's confirmed that we are going to push to the upside on boom crash 500, guys. Now, so that is it for today's video. Make sure that you drop a comment, share this video, and then if you're new to this channel, click the subscribe button and the notification bell, guys. I'll see you on another one. Peace and love.